Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to any new subscribers or new visitors. Happy to have you. And as I said, welcome back if you've been with me before. We're going to do something a little different today. I posted another video just a few minutes ago, but it was, and I explained in it, if you haven't seen it, I explained in it how I received a message from I'm in contact with my spirit guides, and my mother's just texting me. I'm in contact with her too. Hi, Ma. I'm in contact with my spirit guides and my ancestors on my mother's side of the family, actually, quite often. And one of my ancestors, my great-great-grandmother, came through, and I talked to her quite often, but she came through Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and she told me she wanted me to shoot some videos this weekend, and gave me some topics to cover in those videos. And which was good, because I had no idea what I was going to do videos on. I was really preparing my mind for doing videos to be posted in September, because I like to try to stay ahead a little bit with have a recording schedule of sorts. But she said, no, there are videos I want you to do now and to post before the end of this month. So I said, okay. One of them was about, allegedly, and this is the one that's been posted now, allegedly a video or some other recording or photograph being leaked to James Comer and his committee, who are investigating the Epstein situation. And I covered that. There was a question that I had regarding that I do want to take a little bit of time right here at the beginning of the video to answer, because I forgot to do it at the end of the last video. So I am going to do that. But the main portion of this reading today is going to be a discussion with the spirit of Senator Edward Kennedy, and specifically we're going to be talking about the Orange Man. What he feels about the Orange Man, what he knows about the Orange Man, maybe the Orange Man's ties to Epstein's. I don't have a complete list of questions. They will probably come to me as I go. I've never done this sort of thing before on video. So this is going to be a first time for me. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest, about how this is going to go. I've done mediumship readings before for friends, and on people that they knew that were in their life, but not anybody that was a public figure. So this will be interesting. So we're going to talk to Ted Kennedy, and also ask him what we can expect, or what he can tell us about the end of Trump. But before we get into that, I've got one question to ask about this video, and that question is, how does the video that allegedly for entertainment purposes only will be leaked to James Comer and his colleagues, how will that change the course of his investigation into... I'm actually not going to use this deck. Actually, they told me don't use this deck. They want me to use the storytelling deck. How is that going to change the course of their investigation into the Epstein case? I'm going to try to keep this short, because I think this is going to be a longer video. Just going to pull 3 cards. They want that card. Rescue. I know it says rescue, and the card is about rescuing or being rescued, but what's coming across to me really strongly is the island. This could be video footage, photographs that were taken on Epstein's island. Okay. I'm going to put that to the side. And actually, I'm going to bring you down right now so we can look at that way. You can look at the cards instead of looking at my face. But that's not too interesting right now, if ever. How does this video, photograph, recording, etc. change the course of Comer's investigation into the Epstein case? Guardian. How does this video that will allegedly be leaked, or photograph or recording that will allegedly be leaked, change the course of Comer's investigation? High drama. I feel like it brings chaos. I think, before everything was going according to Comer's plan. I think the Guardian in this case is Comer. Everything was going according to plan. He's not interviewing really, but he and his colleagues are taking testimony and investigating these different, I believe, attorneys general and the Clintons and some other folk. Everything's going to plan, and then we get high drama. I think there's chaos that comes in, ups and downs. I'm feeling. It could be before this chaos and the ups and downs. It could be before. That could be what's happening before this information is leaked. Let me keep going. How does this video? Victory. So I think things are going according to plan. I feel like things are chaotic. I feel like Comer is a chaos agent for entertainment purposes only. In the lives of the individuals that he's questioning, whether they did something or not, whether they know something or not, whether they're guilty or not, responsible, doesn't matter. I feel like he's getting what he wants. He's having the outcomes and experiencing the outcomes that he wants. All right. Excuse me. Home card in reverse. Okay. Then something gets flipped on its head, is what I'm getting with the home card in reverse. The home card is all about safety, security, all of that. In this situation, since it's not talking about an actual home, actual house, actual family, but rather the people's house, it gets flipped on its head. This information does flip it on its head and makes things very unstable in Congress in general, I feel. I do feel like there is a card in this deck that is about a monkey wrench or a spanner being thrown into something and throwing everything off kilter. I think in this spread, in this situation, that's what this is talking about. This video does make everything that's going on very unstable. Okay, give me a couple more cards. How does this video change the course of the investigation? Surprise villain. They're not expecting this. They're not expecting this, and they're not expecting what the video shows. The video shows somebody who I feel was somebody who was trusted, who was a trusted member of the government prior to their death. If you haven't watched my first video about this, please go back and watch it. What I did end up getting very briefly was that this video depicts a deceased politician, someone who's no longer with us, who has, for the most part, a relatively good reputation as far as politicians and good reputations go. but it shows them engaging in behavior that's inappropriate and unbecoming, and it changes people's opinions with surprise villain. Changes people's opinions of this person. And like I said, with the surprise villain, it comes as a surprise. All of a sudden now, this person who may have been a Republican during his or her, feeling male though, but during his or her lifetime, now all of a sudden there's a there's a rivalry there. There's a problem there. They are othered now with the release of this video or tape, recording, photo, what have you. Okay, anything else? What else do we need to know about how this information, this evidence changes the course of the investigation? Got 2 cards in my lap. These cards go in that order. Dream and discovery. Discovery, I'm actually feeling like is referring in a way to legal discovery. Still, finding something out, finding information. There's further information now that this has been revealed, and that there's a surprise villain now. Now that this information has come out, that kind of does change the narrative and change the way things have been going here. Sorry, fumbling the cards. Change the way things have been going here. Quite frankly, with the high drama card, I feel like there's going to be more drama now. It's just going to be drama and chaos and up and down stuff in a different sort of way. It's not the chaos that was orchestrated that's been orchestrated by Comer et al. It's going to be a distraction from what they have been planning and what they have wanted to do and what their desired outcome of this investigation has been. Their plans for this investigation has been thus far. So it kind of comes out of left field. They're really not expecting this. I feel like the dream card, this is saying like they feel like it isn't real. They feel like this isn't real. It's like, well, yeah, they find out with the discovery, they find out that it is. They find out that it is. Challenge, we have choose your weapon. There are 2 ways that they can go about handling this this kind of unwelcome interruption. They have to figure out which way they're going to handle it. I don't know what those ways are. I'm not picking those up, but I feel like they have options about how they can handle this. And what we don't see coming is the treasure card, treasure trove. And under that is conflict. Let me see if I can show you. Conflict and bright idea. This treasure, this information, I think, creates more conflict for the Republican Party. Notice the red, all the red and the orange in this particular card. I feel like it creates infighting. Choose your weapon. This could be, again, more infighting amongst the party. That's what this ends up causing. Which we kind of had here too. creates infighting within the party. And creates infighting, I would also say, within the committee, within the House, within Congress itself. I think it could be big. It will definitely be very interesting. Okay, so let's clear this. Put these to the side. And let's get on to Senator Kennedy. So what I'm going to do is, I've already talked to my guides. Let me lift you guys up a little bit. Sorry about that. I've already talked to my guides, and they know what I'm getting ready to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask them to come in and to bring Senator Kennedy in. And I'm going to use my pendulum. I can't remember where I got this from. It's one of my many pendulums. Actually, I have a few, but this is the one we're going to use today. I have my scrying board here. It's not a Ouija board. There's a difference. This is my scrying board. When I bought it, they call it a pendulum board, but my guides have since told me, call it scrying board. So that's what we're calling it, scrying board, used for scrying, getting messages from my spirit guides and from my ancestors. I only use it to speak to them, actually. I don't use it to speak to other people. I will not be using it to speak to Senator Kennedy. It would take too long anyways. We're going to use cards, but I did want to kind of show this because I have it out, so I may as well. All right. Spirit guides, guardians, angels of the pure white light, ancestors, archangels, please come be with me now. Pendulum swinging, yes. So they're here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I have some questions for Senator Ted Kennedy. Do you think you could bring him in? Yes. All right. Is he here? Yes. Okay, Senator Kennedy, are you here? Yes, he's swinging yes, and that's going fairly quickly, fairly strong yes. All right, thank you, Senator Kennedy, for coming here and being with me today. We have some questions for you, or I have some questions for you that my viewers and I would like to have answered. We'd like some insight. There's some other questions that we have. If there's anything that I ask that you don't want to answer, or you don't have to, is that all right with you? Yes. Are the questions that I have so far questions that you're comfortable asking or answering, excuse me? Yes. Okay. Are you ready to get started? Yes. Okay, so let's get started. Put that to the side. All right, I'm going to start out with my tarot deck. So, Senator Kennedy, first question that I have for you, I'm going to bring you guys down right now. First question that I have for you is, let's just start out. What can you tell us about Donald Trump, who is currently sitting in the White House? I'm not going to say he's the president. I'm just going to say he's currently sitting in the White House. What can you tell us about President Trump? President Donald Trump, the Orange Man. What can you tell us about him right now that we need to know? Or that would be helpful for us to know. All right. Just one card, please, Senator Kennedy. I'm going to go one by one. Take one card at a time. Okay. Strength card. The Strength card was on the bottom of the deck. Sorry, a message just came through on my computer again. All right, thank you, Senator Kennedy. The Strength card is about compassion. It's about handling something that's potentially dangerous and not being afraid. I feel like what the senator is actually, or the spirit of the senator is actually telling us, and I was not expecting this actually, is to view this situation with compassion. We are dealing with something dangerous. Because if you look at the lion there, lions are dangerous, point blank period. And he likes to think he's a king. Senator's telling me he likes to think he's a king. But he can be controlled. Is he being controlled, actually, Senator? Is he being controlled? Okay, yes. He's saying yes. He's under somebody's control. With the Three of Wands, I feel like the Three of Wands card, this is the person that he's under the control of. With the Strength card, everything's all fire and passion. You know, Strength refers to Leo. It's all fire and passion and this and that, which can get out of hand. And to put it bluntly, the Orange Man does get out of hand. He is out of hand. He is out of control. But there's somebody who is much more logical, who is looking towards the future, who is and this may not just be one person, it's people. The person specifically that came to mind was Stephen Miller. Somebody who is, and I don't have any swords cards here, but I'm getting, we got King of Swords on the bottom of the deck, sorry. But I was saying I don't have any swords cards here. This is somebody who's very cunning, is what I'm seeing. They're good with, like you see here in the image, they're good with graphs, they're good with numbers, they're good with planning and organizing. They're good at playing a percentage is what came to mind. They're the ones to, I'm not going to say be wary of, not be afraid of, be wary of. He is not the problem. He's the face. But there's somebody behind him who is, or people behind him. They are the ones to be concerned about. Okay. Is there one specific person working with the president who is the actual danger, if you will, or who is somebody who is a problem, Senator? No. Is it multiple people? Yes, it's multiple people. Okay. They hold the money. I just heard that. They hold the money. They hold the power. They hold the power. There's somebody who's controlling him, and I usually never really get control off of this card. There's another card in this deck that actually does indicate control, and it'll be interesting to see if that comes out. But they're controlling him. They control the money, and they're controlling him. All right. Is there anything else? Is there anything about this person that's controlling? Oh, wait. This person, the person who's controlling him is overseas. Guess who that is? Platinchka. The person who's controlling him is overseas, Senator. Three of Swords. Causing him heart trouble. The person controlling him is causing him heart trouble. Senator, were you aware that there was a connection between... Is this person who's overseas, who's controlling Trump, is it Putin? Is it Platinchka, Senator? Nope. Okay, that didn't want to come out. Thank you. Yeah, it's Platinchka. It's the Emperor. He thinks he's Stalin, or he thinks he's Lenin. Excuse me. He thinks he's Lenin with the Emperor card. He is. Putin's the one in charge for sure. Okay, thank you. So Putin is the one to be concerned about. Were you aware? I know Putin was an issue when you were in office, Senator. Were you aware of the connection between Putin and Trump when you were in the Senate? Were you or anybody else that you worked with the son? Everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. Did you think that that the country would be in the position that it's in now with Trump and with Putin, actually? Did you know then when you were with us? Ten of Wands. Let me take another card. No, too many cards. Give me one more card to clarify the Ten of Wands. What I'm getting with the Ten of Wands is like, yeah, okay. He and other leaders at the time with the Ten of Wands were too, I don't want to say too busy, but I'm almost getting like they were too busy, doing actual work, doing actual government work, to be worried about what Trump was doing. What Trump was doing here with the Nine of Cups. What he was doing with anybody else, Putin, Epstein, whatever. It's interesting that the Nine of Cups is coming up, though, because in this deck it almost looks like, if you look at the red characters in the background, it looks like they're almost having an ORGY. I'm spelling that out for the censors to hopefully get around them. the Nine of Cups is about excess and pleasures, and in this case, actually, um, the Eight of Swords. They were blinded. They were blinded. They were busy. They didn't know, and I don't know that they actually cared a whole lot about what he was doing, insofar as the government was concerned, or I don't think anything he was doing was on their radar, especially with the Eight of Swords and the blindfold there. Okay. How well did you know President Trump? The Tower. I was going to ask, how well did you know President Trump during your life? And I got the Tower. How well did you know President Trump during your life? Justice. Seven of Wands. Oh, Six of Swords. Airplane. So I'm saying, how well did you know President Trump during your lifetime? I feel like, before I get to these cards here, let me look at Justice and the Seven of Wands. I feel like there were some business dealings of a sort. I don't have any money cards here, but I feel like there were some sort of, well, legal business dealings, possibly governmental legal dealings of a sort. They weren't concerned about the senator and the others around him or in government at the time weren't concerned about what Trump was doing socially, but I feel like there were some sort of legal issues that they were aware of and that were being dealt with. I don't know if it was on a governmental level. Just a second, let me check something. Because it just dawned on me. Member of the Senate. I wanted to. Did he represent Massachusetts? I'm pretty sure he represented. As a representative for the state of Massachusetts. Yeah, I represent the state of Massachusetts. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I don't know if there was any dealings for Trump dealings in Massachusetts, but I do think there was some sort of legal, above board legal connection that Ted Kennedy and the Orange Man had. When the Tower came out, I just automatically thought of Trump Tower. I don't know if there was a meeting in Trump Tower, if he met with him in Trump Tower, or something to that effect, or if it had to do with real estate holdings within the state of Massachusetts, maybe. I don't know how that would have come under the senators, come under him or land on his desk, but it could have been that. The Six of Swords cards with the airplane. Whenever I see this card in this deck, I just view it as an airplane. And I was going to ask him about the connection with Epstein, which I will ask now. But what I'm getting is the what this card is, the Lolita Express. And what we don't see coming, Five of Wands. There was some sort of infighting. Not infighting, I'm not going to say infighting. I feel like there was some sort of battle. We've got the Justice card here, the Seven of Wands here. You know, this is taking a defensive stand against people and saying no. There may have been something that Trump wanted to do, that people were saying no to, people like the senator, and maybe other senators, other representatives as well, other individuals in government who were saying no. And then the Five of Wands is competition, fighting. All right. Regarding this plain senator, let me get my pendulum. Regarding this plain Senator Kennedy, did you have any connection to Jeffrey Epstein? During your lifetime, during his lifetime, did you have any connection to Jeffrey Epstein? He's saying yes. He's saying yes. Did you fly with him on the Lolita Express? He's saying yes. Did you visit his island, which I think is called Little St. James? Did you visit his island? Yes. Okay. This is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Let me put that out there. Did you know of Trump's, the Orange Man's, connection, relationship with, friendship with Jeffrey Epstein? What did you know of their relationship? Ten of Cups. They were thick as thieves. Epstein and Trump. They were thick as thieves. You get the Ten of Cups. There's no way that, this is like bosom buddies to me. There's no way that they're playing golf together. They're at Mar-a-Lago together. There's no way that they didn't know each other. Because I think at some point Trump was like, never met the guy, but one of his lies. If you ask a question like that and you get the Ten of Cups as the answer, there's no way that they don't know each other. They are so in each other's lives, it's not even funny. So yeah, they were connected. What else can you tell me about their relationship? President Kennedy. I'm sorry, not President Kennedy. Senator Kennedy. That might have been a slip of the tongue. What else can you tell me about their relationship? Wait a minute, Senator. Did your family also know and interact with the Trump family? Yes. Okay. All right. So that could have been why I said president, because it wasn't just him, of course. There were other pentacles. There were other connections between the two families. All right. Six of Pentacles. I was asking about, asking the senator about the connection, relationship, any other information about between Trump and Epstein. Six of Pentacles. There was money changing hands between the two of them. There was money changing hands between the two of them. One person supporting the other. Five of Pentacles, because one person was broke. One person was broke. They were in bad shape. They needed money to fund their life, their lifestyle, the mob. There was a mob connection for entertainment purposes only. I just heard everybody was connected to the mob. Was Trump giving Epstein money? Was he paying Epstein money, footing the bill for things? Yes. Was President Trump was footing the bill for some of somebody sending me a message again, for some of Epstein's endeavors. Yes, okay. The mob card here, I feel like this is a card that's particular to this deck. I'm using the Unveiled Tarot. This is talking about like mob activity, mob rule. When I say mob, I'm meaning like a group of people, people who are rioting, like a riot mob. But what I'm getting here is it was mob-like operations. Mob as in like trying to act like La Cosa Nostra, that type of mob, for entertainment purposes only. It was that sort of thing. It was under the table. What am I getting? Under the table. Money laundering. I just heard money laundering. Money laundering going there. So that could have been, if there was anything like that going on, that could have been why Trump or Epstein or both, Trump particularly though, since we were asking about him, why he would have been on any senator's radar, quite frankly, any governmental radar. But yeah, money laundering. That's what that was their connection. Do you know why they fell out with each other, Senator Kennedy? Do you know why they fell out with each other? Do you know why the Orange Man and Epstein fell out with each other? Eight of Cups. Somebody walked away from something. Three of Cups, walked away from a... Hold on. Four of Cups. Lots of cups. Eight of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Cups. The Puppeteer. Their falling out was of an emotional nature, I would say. And when I say emotional, it was angry. Regarding women with the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups usually shows three women. celebrating, enjoying themselves, celebrating a harvest usually. And this card is showing one of them having to deal with the aftermath of a celebration or of a party. But seeing as though this card usually depicts women, it does depict women here too as well. Yes, it looks like that. It was a falling out over females, over women, young women. Control of young women, offering women something. I heard making an offer you can't refuse, making an offer you can't refuse. Again, puppeteer imagery. We see that with The Godfather quite a bit. We know what that was about. I feel like the Orange Man thinks that he's like a Godfather character, a mob boss character. That's how he sees himself. Let me ask a question. Senator Kennedy, when Epstein was arrested in Florida, which was after he and Trump had fallen out, allegedly, I believe, was Trump involved in Epstein getting arrested? Was he involved or somehow at fault for Epstein getting arrested? It's been swinging yes this whole time. Let me shake it out. Okay. Was Trump involved in Epstein? It's saying yes. Was Trump involved in Epstein's arrest in Florida? Yes. Okay. Can you give me any more information on that? Was Trump involved in Epstein's arrest in Florida? The devil. Woo-hoo-hoo. The devil. They were connected. It was all connected. You know, in this deck, the devil, you know, it shows the family as well. It shows the devil up there in the little image in the middle. It shows the family. The devil is, you know, when I first saw this card, when I first got this deck, I was getting like, you know, families aren't always what you think they are. What you see on the surface may not really be what's really going on. I also got like being indebted to somebody because you have a great big house here and a family. What goes along with that? A mortgage. You're indebted to the mortgage company. Epstein was indebted to Trump. He was indebted to Trump, and okay, I just heard the word owe, like he owes me or she owes me, something like that. One of them owed or felt like the other owed them something. I'm feeling like it was Trump who felt like Epstein owed him something. I'm feeling that Trump felt like Epstein owed him something. The Chariot. Movement, victory, success. Success in battle. Success after battle. Trump felt that that was punishment, I feel like, or revenge. I shouldn't say punishment. Revenge. For entertainment purposes only. with Epstein getting arrested, because I do feel that he played a very big hand. But with this Devil card, there was a karmic connection between the two of them, because, it's, yeah, Trump may have been giving him money and footing the bill for things, but, it wasn't a one-way type of relationship. It was a toxic relationship for both of them. They were both equally attached to one another with this Devil card as the other. The same way Trump had his fingers on the strings controlling Epstein, Epstein also had his fingers on the strings controlling Trump and a whole lot of other people. They were really two sides of the same coin. All right, we're at 51 minutes, and I feel like we could kind of go on, but I have some very important question, or one very important question. Senator Kennedy, what can you tell us about the end of Trump and the end of the Trump regime? 5 of Swords. He's going to try to get away with what he can get away with. He's going to try to take what he can take. What else can you tell us about the end of the Trump regime? Page of Pentacles. There's more work to be done, but I'm getting amateur hour. It's like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's gonna try to get away with what he can, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. He thinks he's like Don Corleone or one of the other Dons in The Godfather. He thinks that he knows what he's doing, that he's all powerful, that he's really pulling something over on somebody or on the American people. But he's just a page. Pages are students. They're students, they're messengers. They don't hold any real particular power, which again takes us back to these cards up here. He's a stooge for Putin. He's a stooge for Putin, plain and simple. What can you tell us about the end of the Trump regime? How is it going to end? When is it going to end? The High Priestess. This is major female energy that is coming out. It's talking about using one's intuition, of course, but I'm feeling like this is really talking about female energy that is powerful, that is coming out, and this shows like a female rock star or something. Actually, she's got a microphone there. This is somebody who has a message. They may not literally be a singer, they may not, of course, literally be a high priestess, but this is powerful divine feminine energy that's going to be taking him down, that's going to be removing him. There's something on the tip of my tongue with this as well. Let me see if it comes, if I keep pulling cards. Can you clarify the High Priestess for me? Can you please clarify the High Priestess for me? Five of Cups. Ruin, destruction. This is like a war-torn, demilitarized zone. Which of course makes me think of Ukraine, quite frankly. because they're, Ukraine and Russia, the Russian people, not Putin himself, but the Russian people, they're both really catching hell right now. But let me go back. Let's clarify the High Priestess. Ten of Pentacles. Okay. The High Priestess is kind of like, what I'm getting with this is like a spirit that is protecting the American people, kind of like Lady Liberty. Let's for intents and purposes, let's say this is a Lady Liberty, or Columbia. I think that's what you call her, Columbia, who's protecting the American people, and protecting the American people, protecting our country, and so we avoid this type of Five of Cups situation where it is ruin, despair, desolation, burned out buildings, like the way London looked after the Blitz. That's the Five of Cups. The High Priestess is protecting us from anything that he can do that would create this type of energy and create this type of situation in America. That's what he'd like to do. But, oops, sorry, wrong card. But the High Priestess is she's a protection, an energy of protection, a spirit of protection over the country. The Ten of Pentacles is about, in this deck, it's about your ancestors. And for the country specifically, it's about the founding fathers and the people who have come before, who created this country and who had an image and a vision for this country. The High Priestess to me is somebody who's also visionary, and as a person quite psychic. They knew that they had a vision of what this country was going to be, what it could be. And they know, with the High Priestess card, they know that this is not the fate. This is not our fate as a country. We may feel it is. We may feel like this is where we're heading, but they're not going to let it happen. They're not going to let it happen. Spirit isn't going to let it happen. They're working together, this High Priestess and people like George Washington on the other side, and Jefferson, and whether, regardless of what they did in their personal lives, in this country, they're working from the other side to protect it. And there's nothing that this orange man can do, and there's nothing that this dude who thinks he's Lenin can do. And the face here, for some reason, always reminds me of Lenin, even though the body did not fit Lenin. He was a very small man. This card always reminds me of Lenin. They're not going to be able to do anything long term to hurt or damage the United States. They can't do it because they're human, number one. Spirit and the divine is what is in charge and who are in charge. It's not humans, it's not us. It's spirit. There is a divine plan for this country, and this is not part of the divine plan. This type of eventuality is not part of the divine plan. we have to deal with these guys on the earth plane, but that's not how we're going to end. That's not how we're going to end. We have a really strong, he's saying essentially that we have a really strong protection. Okay, what else can you tell me, please, Senator Kennedy? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. We're not going to be as independent as we once were, like financially independent as we once were for a little bit. I feel like the big damage that there's going to be is to the economy, to the average person's the average person's finances, personal finances, mortgage stuff, mortgage rates, price of food, price of eggs, price of gas, healthcare. Those are the things that are going to, that's how we're going to suffer as a country. But we aren't going to have to rebuild from death and destruction because of some overlord who decided to bomb everything and bomb us out or what have you. Can you tell me what, I usually don't ask about timing, but can you tell me during what zodiac sign or during what period of the year in the zodiac? Let me rephrase that. The Orange Man will leave office during which sun sign? When the sun is in which sign? King of Wands. So it's a fire sign. Aries, Leo, or Sag. We have Sagittarius season coming up. We enter Sagittarius season in November. The World, which is Capricorn. So Sagittarius, the world is about endings. So I'm getting that he's going to be he's not going to be part of the picture by I would say the end of Sagittarius season going into Capricorn season. Sagittarius season ends in December, somewhat before Christmas, mid-December. So I think he's already gone by the time the end of Sagittarius season arrives. I think either at the beginning of or during Sagittarius season is when he is no longer in office. All right, so I'm going to end this video here. This is interesting. This is kind of rough, I know, because this is the first time I've done anything like this on a video. I think I'll do more of these and they'll get better. And I'll probably be a little more organized with it. But that's it. I thank you, Senator Kennedy, for coming to be with us and answer some questions for us. I feel like we only got to the tip of the iceberg, but we were happy to have you. He's saying yes. When I say yes like that, I interpret that as a you're welcome type thing. All right, thank you so much for being here. You are free to go. And thank you, everyone in the audience who's been with me. We are now at 1 hour and 4 minutes. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you spending some time with me. And this has been fun, and I'll talk to you soon. For entertainment purposes only.